Hi, I'm Dave Roberts with LBMC Technology Solutions. Today we're at Bailey Special Risks, an insurance wholesaler located in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Bailey Special Risks offers coverage including professional liability, management liability, privacy, and security liability. Today we're speaking with Sandy Hall, President of Bailey Special Risks. Sandy, tell us about Bailey Special Risks and what you do.
Bailey Special Risk is a wholesale insurance broker. We partner with independent insurance agents to help them identify the risk exposure for cyber liability, errors and omissions, and other professional liability lines, and help them insure those as well. I handle most of the marketing with our independent agents, as well as education on the products that we offer, including cyber liability, management liability, and errors and omissions.
Tell me, for my own edification, because Vicki and I talk about this stuff on a somewhat recurring basis. We talk about other things, but this is always a topic that comes up. So I have deep intrigue about the shifting in this space. We get applications on a very regular basis to review on behalf of clients. One of the things we talked about is, I was stunned when Vicki shared with me that 3 years ago, these applications were like 3-4 questions.
They were literally 3-4 questions.
Yeah.
Name, address, cost of business, and your annual revenues.
Yeah. So obviously we see the detail that's in them now. Clients are, they're looking to us to help them complete those,
which we tell them to do.
Yeah. and the thing that I find very interesting, and I relay this often, the thing I find interesting, the more I review these things, is that not only are they asking the questions about, are you doing this? Then they're saying, well, which solution are you using to do that? They're getting very specific and offering, drop downs to say, yes, are you using this? Are you using that? Using this or something else?
Right.
And I think that level of detail is very interesting, how underwriters are going to a certain level to get the answers they're looking for. I'm fascinated by this space. I'm fascinated on the front from the underwriter and provider standpoint, and the level of detail again that they're going to ascertain if you are a candidate for insuring. All the way up to the other side of it, where we're dealing with clients who we know have gaps that need to be mitigated, who sometimes resist mitigating those gaps because they don't want to spend $2 a month per user, that kind of thing. So I find all of that interesting, especially in the space.
Well, and the insurance carriers feel like they are kind of helping to bridge that gap, because if they require it to be an insured that you have those gaps closed up, then that helps everyone. It limits the number of claims. It limits the severity of claims.
Yeah.
We talked about premium increases
Right.
as a result of the increased number of claims.
Premiums are doubling and tripling.
Or we've seen 1,000% increase.
Okay.
Generally, you can expect a 25% increase.
And coverages are?
Coverages, as far as general coverage built into the form, is increasing typically.
It is increasing.
Through time. It just has naturally evolved to cover more and more of the exposure that corporations and businesses are looking to cover. However, with the pandemic and the increase in claims and the large number, the increase in losses, they've pulled back on the amount of limit they'll offer.
Right.
So where in the past they would willingly give out a $10 million limit, now they're pulling back to 5 or 2, and you have to go out to other markets and get excess limits.
That's what I was understanding.
They're also increasing retention.
Yeah. Okay. So when we look at the shifts and the trends in the marketplace, what about does this become a cyclical thing? Do we think that rates and coverages are going to move again? Will they move back down? Will rates move down over time?
They are already coming back down. This time last year, 100% increases in rates, up to 1,000% increases in rates were the norm. Every customer we had pretty much saw that. As the carriers have gotten through that annual cycle, they've increased the underwriting requirements. So almost every insurer they have has multi-factor authentication in place already. They have encrypted backup so they can recover their data if it hasn't been exfiltrated already. So they have minimized the exposure they have on their books. They kind of cleaned up their book of business, and as a result of that, pricing is coming back down. We haven't seen their interest in increasing the limits yet, so they're still cautious in that area. They don't want to have a $10 million loss. Right. So they're trying to spread that around, but you're spreading it around among the same the carriers are all writing excess over each other. So there's, some of that, but the premium has definitely stabilized, and the really high retentions that they were demanding this time last year have stabilized. Yeah. It will never probably go back to the pre-pandemic.
That was my next question.
It was really too low.
Yeah.
And they all were losing more than they were making in premiums at that point in time.
Okay. Interesting.
But I think they've pretty much all rectified their books of business at this point in time.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So for businesses, why is cyber insurance important?
As a business owner, as a business manager, you want to be able to meet the needs of your customer. You want them to feel comfortable that you are protecting their data that you need to provide those services to them. So cyber insurance helps you minimize the damage if there's an incident, if there's a breach into your system. It helps you contain that breach, and it helps you get back up and running quicker. It gets you connected to legal teams that specialize in dealing with cyber losses. They know who the criminals are. They know what your legal requirements are regarding the states. Do you have to notify the Attorney General? What time frame you have to do that? Do you have to notify Health and Human Services and the time frame to do that? They really help you minimize the liability that's going to follow later after the breach. They help you, the computer forensics teams help you contain that breach and get back up and operational as quickly as possible. They also connect you to people who specialize in ransomware negotiations and dealing with cyber criminals. Do you pay the ransomware? How do you get cryptocurrency to pay that? Or are you in a better position? Can you recover from your data, your backups? Can you recover that data? Is there a possibility that that's already been exfiltrated out and you still have to, even though you pay the ransom, get back access back, you still have to follow all of those procedures to mitigate the damages as a result of that lost data.
Right. Do you see sectors that are more at risk for cyber attack?
Healthcare, financial services, manufacturers have not in the past been historically a target, but they can demand large ransom payments from them. So they are a target for that. They also often have legacy systems that are an easy access point into the network. So we are seeing a significant increase in claims in that area.
Yeah, okay. Sandy, are there organizations that are required to have cyber insurance by nature of the business they're in?
There are. Healthcare risks are required to carry it, as well as financial organizations. They must protect that data that they have for their client, and it is a requirement that they do so. We also see it being required by contract. So in order to get business, sometimes you have to sign a contract saying that you have that cyber insurance. We have seen claims where the HVAC contractor or the refrigeration contractor, their integration with a larger corporation was the access point into that larger corporation's network. So those corporations often require that they carry the insurance by contract.
Interesting. Okay. So in today's threat landscape, is it harder to get cyber insurance now than it was maybe a year or so ago?
Yes, it is harder. It's not undoable, but it is harder. You need to have the proper security in place. They're looking for multi-factor authentication. They're looking for segregated backups that are separate from your network and are encrypted so that in the event that there was an incident, you can recover from those backups. It really minimizes the time that you're down and the amount of loss to the carrier and the insured. Additionally, they're looking for a robust cyber security posture. So you have those cybersecurity positions in place, but you also educate your employees as to the exposure that they are. They are the weak link into the system oftentimes. And so you want to make sure you're doing frequent training, phishing training, and make sure the culture focuses on cybersecurity.
Yeah. I often say that the employee is the first line of defense.
They are the first line.
Because they're the ones who are going to be the prime attack and if they have been trained, if they have the awareness, oftentimes you can avert a real incident. Absolutely. Because of that training and awareness. So that's good information to have. Sandy, thank you for letting us come in and speak with you on this very important topic. It's a topic that we talk about on a frequent basis in our business, and obviously you do in yours as well. And so we appreciate your time and the information and sharing that with our friends out there. Thank you.
Thank you.